We're back at Workout D. Welcome to Workout D. And again, you got 2 strength blocks, and you're going to go through each block 3 times. That's your circuit. And these are the things I want you to know for each strength block. In block 1, there's only one thing I want you, I think everything else you know well, but the hip thrust. So when you do the hip thrust with or without a band, you're going to do it against a chair or a bench. It's exactly like a glute bridge, and the only difference is that instead of having the floor support you, here I'm pushing my back into the edge of a chair or a bench. And to know that you're in the right position, I can feel the edge of the bench kind of hanging right underneath my shoulder bones, which is your scapula. And your scapula is literally hanging on the top edge of this. And that's where you're going to be moving in that corner. The elbows don't support you, your back, your scapula is what does. So it's like a glute bridge in that I lift my hips up and my back is still on that corner. Your hands can be on the dumbbell. And what I want you to remember is your body's going to want to look upward because that's very natural. But when you do this, some people end up hyperextending their back, and then that's when lower back pain happens. So to prevent this, the easiest thing for everyone to do is to look straight ahead as if you're looking at yourself in the mirror. So even when your head wants to tilt back, just look straight forward in this super awkward position, but this super awkward position protects your back. So you'll go, the hips will dip down, we'll lift as high as you can using those glute muscles, but the eyes are forward. So just remember that. And to let yourself down, I just lower and I catch myself on the floor. In block 2, we've got tips on all 3 exercises. You're going to be doing an assisted pistol, which is basically a one-legged sit onto a chair. So these are the different versions. We'll go over it in the live session if you join it. You're going to have one leg extended. This is the more difficult. I'm going to sit my hips back to gently sit on the chair. Just touch, let your butt kiss the chair. I know you wouldn't necessarily kiss the chair, but that's how light a touch you have. You're going to just kiss the chair and come back, push into the foot to come back to stand. These are not easy. That's why the rep scheme is on the low side. Now, if that feels hard, you can also kickstand. Remember, we did kickstands before? That heel down as you bring your hips to lightly kiss the chair and come back to stand. So that's 2 versions. If the chair level, even with the legs sticking up straight out, feels like it's not too much of a challenge, then I want you to try to find a slightly lower level, because the ultimate goal, I don't know if I can do it, I've been practicing, is to actually have nothing behind you coming down and coming back up. That wasn't perfect, but you know what I mean. Second exercise, you have something called a renegade row, but with just one arm. And this is similar to that plank knee to elbow in that the hard part about this is not the row, it's not having your body move. So this exercise is an anti-rotation, which means the work is in not rotating the body. So you're going to be in this high plank position. One hand is down, and you're going to give me rows just on one arm. And because you lift one arm up, the body finds this unstable position with just your hand and your 2 feet. And you're fighting the body from turning when you pick the dumbbell up in a row position. So just focus on flexing your quads. When I say flex your quads, I mean pull your thighs away from your knees. That tightens up. This tightens up when you're in that position down here. So you might not be able to see it, but this is me flexing my quads and squeezing my glutes to help me from shifting my hips when I pick up the dumbbell or my hand. And the last exercise we have in this block is a fire hydrant, which is something that your dog does if you have a doggy. You're going to be in this all fours position, and then you're not going to pee like your dog does, but you're going to lift that knee up, and it's called a fire hydrant now, as you can see why. And you're going to try not to, because I find myself even trying to shift to lift up that knee. This is about the mobility of your hip in that side direction, that lateral direction. So you're going to work on fire hydranting your leg out and back down. And that's, and I think the finisher is pretty self-explanatory. Enjoy, and remember to send us video if you want us to check your form.